Hi, I'm Dr. Holland, and I teach two classes. I teach geometry and algebra 2. So this is going to be sort of an introduction video. I'm going to walk you through how to find things on Schoology, how to contact me, and just what to expect from this class. Whether it's geometry or algebra 2, it's very similar. So, all right. So within Schoology, if you click the course page, you'll see algebra 2 or geometry. So algebra 2 is this purple one, geometry is green. All right, and then within that, the first thing you'll see will be the link, and then you'll see a folder that says course information orientation, and we're going to take a little walk through that. That's, again, for either class. It's got the same basic information in there, except, of course, it'll be a different syllabus. And then after that, you'll start seeing the course material organized by unit with the most recent unit on top. All right, so let's take a look. A little bit about me first. If you go in this folder, you'll see a teacher information page. So just who am I? I've been at Marietta for, this is my 13th year. I'm sorry, my 13th year teaching. I've been at Marietta. This is my 9th year here. Before that, I was in Texas. And I have two children in the Marietta school system. One is here at Marietta High School as a freshman, and one is a 5th grader at A.L. Burris. I love the ocean. In fact, the reason that there's a doctor in my name, I'm not a medical doctor, my doctorate is in physical oceanography. And so my research before I decided that I really wanted to be a teacher, my research is on climate variability. So things like El Nino, hurricanes, that sort of thing. Using satellite data, using computer models, using temperature records from corals, all that. So I've always loved the ocean. I learned to scuba dive when I was a teenager. And I get back to the beach whenever I can. I do live with my family and 2 cats. Here's George. And there's one other cat. And I live here in Marietta. So again, I do have children in the system. So for any of you who may be struggling with remote learning, please know that I get it. I know the struggle from both a teacher point of view and a parent point of view. I do understand. If you're having issues, please just reach out to me. So how do you do that? Well, students should probably message me on Schoology, and they've been doing that. We actually had them do that the very first day in the course orientation, so they know how to do that. You can also, either students or parents, you can reach me by email. My office hours, I log on every morning, Monday through Thursday at 7:30. I have open office hours for an hour. And then again, at the end of classes at 2 o'clock, I open it back up. That's just first come, first serve. Just pop into the Zoom. You don't need an appointment. You just come and talk. Or if you need an appointment, if you need, need to really devote my time to a one-on-one meeting, then that's what Friday mornings are for. So that's by appointment only. Just contact me again by Schoology or by email, and we'll set something up for that. The Zoom link is the same for all classes, office hours, and Friday appointments. It's the same link for everything. I didn't want to confuse anyone. I just wanted to keep it simple. And that's here. It's also about 10 different places on Schoology. Okay. So when you go into that course orientation folder, you'll see one of the things you'll see is the syllabus. So this is algebra 2. This is geometry. They're very, very similar. They'll have my Zoom and my contact information in there. They'll also have the grading policy. So for the first semester, it's really all we need to think about for right now. Both classes are 50% formative, meaning daily work, quizzes, anything before the end of the unit is formative. And then summative is the other 50% of the grade. Those will be the end of unit tests, or sometimes it might be an end of unit project. I should say sometimes the units are broken into 2 parts. So we might have, a summative assessment for part A and then another one for part B. But in general, formative assessments and summative 50-50. Formative assessments are just that. They're allowed to grow. So if a student takes a quiz and they just don't really understand the material yet and they get a low quiz grade, but then they work and they come to tutoring maybe and work through some of the old practice and really understand it, and then they take the test and they do better, I go back and I replace that quiz grade. There's not extra credit available, but I do post grades weekly. As I said, quiz grades can be replaced. We'll talk about late work in a minute, but people can always go back and do late work. So that's always a good way to bring grades up. And there are some test retakes as well that we'll talk about. All right. So what does that late work look like? So official school policy is that if you are late turning something in, you have 10 days to turn it in, and for each day that it's late, it's 10% off. In reality, if it's within the same unit, especially while we're on remote learning, and I know people have tech issues and all kinds of things can happen, if you're a few days, if you're a little bit late getting something in, it's okay. Maybe message me so I know what's going on. But I'm pretty flexible on that late penalty as long as you're making an effort to get caught up, and as long as you get caught up before we get to the test. Makeup, of course, if you're out, if you miss class, you've got some time to get that caught up. This retesting policy, I think this is from the Algebra 2 syllabus, but it's the same for geometry. Lowest quiz within a unit will be replaced by the test grade if higher. And then those summative assessments, those tests or projects, there'll be several of them through the semester. The students will be able to choose 2 of them to do a retake on. But in order to do the retake, they do have to take it on the original day, and then they have to show me that they now understand it and that they're ready to do that retake. So they'll need to do some corrections on the mistakes that they made the first time around. They can do that in tutoring with me or with a private tutor or at home, and then just talk to me and show me what they've got and that they're ready. We'll talk more about those as we go through the semester. Teacher contact info again. Technology access, if you need a Chromebook or Wi-Fi, or you're having major technology infrastructure issues, this is the email. techhelp at that's a typo. It's right here. MariettaCity.org. techhelp at MariettaCity.org. Okay. Of course, if you have questions about navigating my Schoology page, contact me. But if it's more like I can't get online, or my internet's not reliable, or whatever, then techhelp at MariettaCity.org. Again, academic honesty. If you're taking a test or quiz, the expectation is that you're doing your own work, that you're not talking to other students, and that you're not, paging through the notes unless I've explicitly said, hey, this is open notes. Generally, exit tickets or ticket out the door are open notes, but tests and quizzes are not. There's that technology help again with the same typo. Supplies. Okay, so there's some stuff here that says the geometry syllabus has some things that geometry teachers recommend you have. For me, for either class, it basically boils down to 3 things. Have something to write with, a pen, pencil, electronic device, I don't care. Something to write on, some kind of paper or electronic device, and some way, some system to keep things organized so that you know where things are. Whether that's a binder or individual folder for just my class, or how you want to do that. I know some people have an A-day binder or a B-day binder, whatever works. Calculators, normally in class, we'd be using a TI-84, they'd be yellow, but like this. You're welcome to buy one, but you don't have to. There are free apps for any smartphone. So if you have an Android, it's Wabbit EMU. If you have an iPhone, it's called Calculate 84, and they are button for button the same as this, and they're free. If you do buy one, I recommend buying them used because there's a big price difference. All right, so let's see. Then we get into the actual navigation of the classes. So let's take a look at first at Algebra 2 and then at Geometry. So in both of them, when you go in Schoology, down the left-hand side, you'll see a bunch of links to different things. And whether it's Geometry or Algebra 2, the one that says Syllabus Realize, that's the textbook, the online textbook. So I know some students picked up an actual hard copy of the book. It's not required. It's all online here at Syllabus. Okay, and then looking through Algebra 2, underneath the course information, there'll be the unit folder. The most recent one will always be on top. Right now we only have one unit. And then within that, the lessons. And again, most recent is on top. You can always click on these little arrows to expand the folder so you can see it without actually clicking into it. But this is what you might see in a typical lesson. You've got instructions, you got sort of material that we're going through. It might be a ticket out the door, it might be homework. Homework, if it's in a red folder or it's a ticket out the door, those are required. If it's in a pink go further folder, that means it's optional. It means if you're just interested and you want to know a little bit more, here's some more you can do, but that's optional. And then I typically put the Zoom recording from the class and any notes that we completed during class in a blue folder down at the bottom, just so if anyone was absent, they can take a look at that. I just ask people to please, with that recording, don't download it, don't share it. Please respect everyone else's privacy. Okay, so again, this was a lesson a little while ago, so there was an exit ticket, and then there was a homework folder, which was required, and then go further, which was optional. So this is for Algebra 2. Let's take a look for Geometry. It's very similar. Unit 1, Foundations of Geometry. We've got our different lessons. Week 1's at the bottom now, and this lesson 6, that was yesterday and today. So it's the most recent. When you actually click into lesson 6, or any lesson, and this is again true for both classes, when you click in, there'll be an instruction page that will automatically display. You don't have to click on that file separately. So it will let you know what to expect that day in class. So usually up at the top, I say, what are we actually doing in class? And then what do the students need to do after the class? So for today in Geometry, we did some exploration interactively using GeoGebra.org. And then we did some problem solving in class using this file right here. And then what did they need to do at the end? Well, they need to do is ticket out the door. For today, there was no other homework. It was just the ticket out the door. But 2, if you haven't done the stuff that was previously due, then, you know, just a little friendly reminder, this stuff is still there and you can still do it. So just included that as a note. So for instance, this is today's. So back here, this was a couple times ago, there were videos that they were supposed to do. So if they hadn't done that, they can go back and do it. And then there was also a ticket out the door in Monday and Tuesday's lesson. So that's the basic navigation. So red folders for the unit, purple folders for Algebra 2 for each lesson, green folders for Geometry for each lesson. I keyed that, I just color coded it with the color of the textbook. And then within there, instructions at the top, any class materials, any red homework folders, those are required, or any exit tickets or ticket out the door, those are required. Pink is optional. And then the class notes in Zoom recording, if you're absent, are in a blue folder at the bottom. And let me just end with, again, how do you reach me? If you need any more information, anything at all, please reach out. Here again is my email. If you want to send me a Schoology message within Schoology, it's right here. There's my Zoom link again and my office hours. So happy to be flexible. If you need a one-on-one meeting, just reach out and let me know and we'll set up an appointment. All right. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the semester.